We're both muted. Hi.
Hi.
We're so late. We had some.
It's not our fault.
It's not our fault.
Not our fault.
Well, we had some technical difficulties. But thank you to everybody who's here. Thanks for tuning in to Girls on Graps. We weren't here last week. Life's just been lifing, but I'm really happy to see you all. For the U.S. people, it's Thanksgiving week. Is there a holiday this week in the UK? Anything?
No.
We're just.
It's just another week.
To be honest, in America, there's very little to be thankful about these days. So, yeah.
Happy Thanksgiving, regardless, to everyone that is indulging in any kind of celebrations this week. I hope you all have a wonderful week and that you do find things to be thankful for, because I think the holiday in theory is nice. It's a nice time to reflect. Absolutely. Because it's been a year. It's definitely been a year. A lot of ups and downs, and more downs and ups for a lot of people, I know. But I hope everyone's doing well. And I have missed even in the last couple of weeks. I know we didn't have a podcast last week. That was my fault. The week before I couldn't make it because work, having a 9 to 5 that isn't a 9 to 5, and that is actually sometimes a 9 till 8 and a 9 till 9 or a 9 till things go wrong in corporations. So but no, it's nice to be back. I have missed everyone. I have watched no wrestling, as it were. How are you doing though, Lyric? I feel like we don't get a lot of time to catch up.
I know, right? It's so hard. It's like that end of the year, I think, season where I'm like I'm both overwhelmed, but also kind of like, what am I going to do with my life? Like that 20-year-old teenage girl of like, oh, what's next? So lots of uncertainty, but I mean, I feel like I accomplished a few things off the checklist this year I'm really proud of. So just trying to...
Let's talk about it. I want to start the podcast on a positive note. What things have we achieved this year? Like, legitimately, I started a full-time job.
Yes, you did.
I've traveled the amount that I wanted to. I wanted to go out of the country at least twice, and I've done that. Both times to America. No, not both times to America. I went to Toronto. I'm lying. What else did I do? I stuck to a lot of my... I didn't make New Year's resolutions. I did a New Year's bingo card, and I have stuck to a lot of it. I found it the other day, and I have achieved a lot of what I wanted to over there. I'm not going to say most of it because it was quite personal goals. Spent a lot of time with family. I've stayed up to in touch with all of my friends. I'm quite proud of it. I'm proud of the year I've had. Everything.
A bingo card is a really good idea. You got to show me how you did that later.
I went to Catherine's. If any of you don't know, Catherine is my wife, my very platonic, very straight best friend wife. I spent New Year's with her last year, and we made bingo cards together. And it's been good. It's been good. It's nice to have those goals. But what have you achieved this year, Lyric?
I wrote a lot. And that was something that I wanted to do. Like, I think I actually said, like, I wanted to do less podcasting and more writing, which, like, I definitely did. I did a lot of my dream interviews this year, which I'm really proud of.
You have got some really, really cool interviews this year. Honestly, every time I see them, I'm just like, girl.
It's actually really insane. Like, because every year at the end of the year, since I started doing content, I make a list of everybody I've interviewed, and I'm always like really shocked by it. But like this year, it was nuts. Of a lot of
names off, man.
Well, we started the year off with Zack Sabre Jr.
Yes, we did.
Interviewed Willow this year, Chris Statlander, Hiroshi Tanahashi. I think that's like the man. I still think like that's the man.
That is, that is unreal to me still. Like I get giddy for you every time I remember it. What an interview to get in his retirement year. Like,
yeah, like right before the G. I think I could stop right now, and that would probably be like the one thing that like I hang my hat on for like the rest of my life. We did what else? Who else did I interview this year? Aaron Wolf.
Was Tekla this year, or was that end of 24?
Tekla was 24. Who else was this year? I know I did more than that. Oh, I did a lot of like. Who else? I honestly can't remember. Oh, like I remember I went to All In. I went to the media junket. So Tony Storm, Kyle Fletcher.
Yeah.
Who else was there? Mark Briscoe. You know, it's been a year. Can't really complain. Too much.
Absolutely smashed it.
What else did I do? I also spent a lot of time with friends this year. Like I moved my brother into college. It was a lot of fun. A lot of really, really, really cool stuff. So
yeah,
can't complain.
Good.
Yeah,
That's good. I'm glad. On the note of interviews and being thankful is the incorrect phrase. I'm gonna roll with it anyways. I just want to share one that I'm proud of one of our mutual friends for doing.
Yes,
because this was a big win for all of us. If you guys knew the context behind how long we've been waiting for this happening, our good friend over at Vice, Haley, got to interview the Bucks recently, and the piece that she's done on it was so fucking good. And I don't have the ability to link it in chat, but please go support Haley and her piece with the Bucks, because it's just a win for the elite girlies. And we have been I'm so proud of her. I'm so proud of her.
You know, every opportunity I think of for any woman in the industry is a big one, just because they're rare, few in between.
Of course, yeah.
But the elite interviews are truly like, oh, how we've prayed.
Yeah, dude, we have been manifesting this, but literally since I got to do the piece on Christopher Daniels that Matt contributed on, we were like, one of us has got to get in the interview, and Haley finally got it, and I'm so
she
happy
also interviewed Hangman earlier this year.
She got the Hangman interview earlier this year as well.
Was shouted out on TV, and then her Vice interview with the Bucks got shouted out on BTE. Haley is officially a canon.
Haley is canon in BTE. Could you imagine what kind of life you have to live to be canon in BTE? Hang on, let me just. So, if you don't know who Haley is, her on Twitter is HaleyAnn_. I think her piece is it. I'm gonna go retweet it again. I think. Let me find it again. Here we go. Go support the fuck out of Haley. I just retweeted the tweet again, so it will now be my most recent retweet. But chat, also share with us things that you've achieved this year, because I'd like to read some. I'm really tapped out of the community at the moment because of how busy life is, but I still really care about you guys. And I would love to know more about everyone's lives again, because I used to be so tapped in and I knew so much about everyone, and I still recognize a lot of the names in chat, but I want to know how the year's been. And I know it's been a rough one, but I want the positivity.
Yes, if you have any good news, please tell us in the chat. And I also even want to say on a note of just like, I remember like, I don't want to say like it's gotten like completely better, but like I feel like when we first started, like we were like, there were very few women in rooms, period, getting like anything. And so like there's been slow but steady improvement, like, especially like of, girls writing and stuff for some of the bigger sites and publications. Like we're still outnumbered. But those things are slowly changing. And I think like it's really cool to just see like people be rewarded for their hard work. Like honestly, persistence is the name of the game. And like we always typically have so much going on in our lives. Like it's really hard to stay consistent with this. And honestly, it's really hard to just put up with like all the things that come with wrestling, whether it's like the Twitter trolls or, just like the misogyny in the industry, or just like, the low pay or things like that. And so it's just really cool to see people persistently, like, going after their dreams, getting results, and really making a long-term impact where they'll never be forgotten. That's really cool.
It is really, really cool. And I think that we should celebrate that more, which is why I wanted to bring up Haley's achievements this year as well. And I'm just so proud of like my friends and everything that people have gotten to achieve this year. Because, like, even like looking at other places in the space, and like I know we're talking about the women especially at the moment, but like even the guys that we're close with, like
Absolutely.
Ibu's gotten to do a lot of cool stuff. Like the guys over at Self Made have achieved so much in the space of like, oh gosh, I can't even remember when they went live with Self Made, but like in the last 6 months especially, they've made massive moves and they've achieved so much. Joe Holbert's having an incredible year. He's literally podcasting with Luke Gallows today, I think. I think that, yeah, that is public information. I saw his tweet on the timeline. I didn't spoil it. It's okay.
I think what's really cool too is like I see like especially the people more so in our age range, like everybody has kind of like built their own platforms. Like, you know, these aren't like and like there's like obviously no shade to like, you know, Fightful or Wrestling or Observer Newsletter or anything, but like these aren't people associated with like traditional, you know, wrestling media. Like people are building platforms on their own, like they're freelancing their work, like they're carving a niche for brands that may not have like traditionally published wrestling content or all sorts of things. Like I think it's always even more rewarding to see people like build their own lane and carve their own lane rather than trying to reinvent the wheel, which is pretty awesome.
Oh my gosh, carving their own lanes. I've got to mention Danny's Will Ospreay piece as well. Oh my god, what an undergoing of a project that was. And she smashed it out of the park. It was fucking incredible. I go up to it often. The work she put into that is
she's not done.
She's still not done with it.
She still has to do the AEW half. So like she's working on that now. So like the first half is like all New Japan, British Indies, like all that. Like, and so the second half, like, and even watching her do it, and like it's like handwritten notes.
Yes,
she's insane. If anybody knows Will Ospreay, tell him he needs to come on Black Girl Wrestling. It's kind of like not a request. It's kind of like you kind of have
it's a demand at this point.
And Ospreay, I know you have time on your hands, brother. You have a little time in your hands, brother. So you know, come on, talk about these matches. I think that it'd be really cool. And she also got some really cool interviews this year too. Interviewed Max, interviewed Kevin Knight, which was really cool, really funny interview. He said, "I've felt those feet before." When talking about wrestling speedball, he said he was talking about wrestling speedball. He said, "I felt those feet before, and I have not been able to get that quote out of my head." Yes, JJ, get it done. Yeah, thank you. Appreciate you.
Oh, we can always rely on JJ. JJ makes things happen, bro. JJ is the man. I was about to say something that is something that I can't say publicly. Just know that he makes things happen.
JJ is the man, makes things happen. All in Texas weekend. There was a moment where he gave me a heads up to stick around for something, and that I was able to see Mercedes at the what was it? Starcade. Starcast. Sorry.
Nice.
Yeah. What a time. What a time. That was
JJ, we miss you. We didn't get enough time together in Vegas.
So many great trips this year too. I didn't take as many trips this year as I've traditionally taken, I think, in past years, but I definitely maximized the ones that like I did. You know, I was in Vegas.
Was unreal.
Vegas.
Girl. Listen, when I think about that Vegas trip, things come back to me and like ebbs and waves, and I remember something that happens. I'm like, wow, when in Vegas, I guess.
I you know what, and it's the little things that's coming back to me of just like, for example, those empanadas we had were so good. Those empanadas that we had on the first day were so good, and also that little district that we were in was so cute.
Yeah, the arts district.
Yes, that little arts and like the vintage shops, and then you went to the tattoo shop.
Yeah, I got my little cactus.
Like I love, and I was actually having a conversation with Danny and some of our other friends. Shout out to Chloe and Jalen from the Deeply Serious Wrestling Spot pod, because that's who I was with a lot of the time in Texas for All In Weekend. Like I love the fact that like in this male dominated sport, we girls, we go on these large wrestling weekends. We just like carve our own little world. Like, and it's super cool. We do super fun stuff. And like, it's just it's irreplaceable moments, you know, and also too, like I just love like the idea of like having so much wrestling like in front of you, of being able to, yeah, we're going to Dragon Gate, and then we're going to Progress, and then we're going to this, and then we're going to West Coast Pro, and then we're going to Prestige, and then we're going to do this. Like,
and we're going to hit like these little indies in Vegas. We're going to Pride Star. We're going to
absolutely
the other one that we went to on that day that I cannot remember the name.
Ah, shit. Yeah, I'm do it. Dang, I know exactly. It was the one we were outside.
Yeah, the backyard wrestling one.
Yeah, it was the backyard.
What was it called? I can't remember. I just remember being at that show and there being a British indie wrestler on it and being like, how the fuck is Raven Creed here?
Bro, Tom Lawler came up to me and literally like busted my knuckles. I said, like, ah! That was and then I think it was cold at that point too. Of just
it was, yeah.
And I had to leave to head to the Fourth Rope show, and then the Fourth Rope show ended up going forever. It didn't end until like after 1. And then we get up.
I went out clubbing that night, and
you did? Oh yeah.
I'm just saying, shout out British wrestling. That's all I can say on that matter.
And what did we do the next day? The next day I went to the DDT GCW TJPW show. Met Takeshita.
I also go to that show.
Did you? Or
I think I turned up late.
You showed up late. Yeah, you did show up late. I met Takeshita for $35. That'll be the last time that happens.
No
I'll tell you that. That'll be the last time at that price point. And it's crazy because WrestleMania was happening at like the exact time. And then,
we did not watch Mania.
Bro, I'm not gonna lie, I was being messy. I watched Charlotte versus Tiffany on my phone.
You did? And then we went to a bar in the casino and saw Ric Flair.
Wait, what? I missed that. I think because I left because I had to go to the airport.
You had to go to the airport? Oh my god, yeah. Me, Eden, and Cece, you watched that match, you left, and then like an hour later, we went to the sports bar in the casino, and Ric Flair was in there.
Oh my gosh.
Well, WrestleMania was still actively happening, by the way.
Even too, like the day before, I went to, what was it? I think it was that Saturday. I knew I wanted to go to the movies. So I went to.
You and Eden went to.
Yeah, we went to see Sinners.
Sinners, whilst I was at WrestleCon.
Yes, at a whole different casino. Like, I will say, I had never been in a casino before. I'm from South Carolina, okay? Gambling is illegal. So, like, the concept of a casino having full-fledged restaurants, movie theaters, and all these things, like, it was blowing my brain. I legit saw Fuddruckers was in there, and, like, the Fuddruckers in my hometown has been closed down. It's a burger joint. And I hadn't had a Fuddruckers burger in well over 10 years. I said, oh, my gosh. I bought Fuddruckers. I hid it under a jacket and snuck it into that movie theater to see Sinners. And keep in mind, I didn't know what Sinners was about. I just saw suddenly while we were on this trip, everybody on Twitter is talking about, this is the movie of the decade. This is the film of the decade. I'm like, what? Sure. And then I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah, we went to see it on Monday.
Like JJ said, I didn't go to any in-ring wrestling the entire week. Well, the thing is, like, if you were at WrestleCon, I heard like that was its own different world too. Like, and you did.
It was a bizarre. Yeah, I went to WrestleCon and totally paid my way to get in.
We totally go to wrestling shows and events, and we pay for every single ticket.
Oh, 100%. I paid for every show I went to in Vegas. I think I paid for 2 of them. I went to like 9 shows. I paid for like 2 of them, if that. And I think it was only West Coast and Prestige.
Yeah, I think. I
might have paid for Dragon Gate as well.
Yeah, I paid for Stardom. And then I ended up giving up my Stardom ticket because I decided not to go like to the first show because we had another show, but somebody showed love because I went to the show the next day because that was the bigger one with like more fun people on it. Yeah, I saw so much stuff. Like it was pretty cool. Like,
it was a big variety of wrestling we got to see.
I think that's the cool thing about it too, of just like, you know, you can really go to WrestleMania weekend and not go to WrestleMania and have like a perfectly good time.
That's exactly what I did.
I think that's why I was so upset, like when hearing like Mania moved to Saudi, just because like that's for a lot of people, that's the only opportunity that they're going to get to, you know, maybe see a DDT or a TJPW or, you know, have access. Like Dragon Gate's first time back in the States in years.
Yes.
They were the stars of the weekend. Like I said, like I think British talent and all the international talent really showed out during WrestleMania weekend. There weren't a lot of like Americans that blew me away, respectfully. But yeah, All In weekend
Shout
was
out the Americans, but there was some other talents on that week that I
Michael Oku, Doris, Leon Slater,
Sinner and Saint, Canadian boys.
Like, absolutely had a great, you know, WrestleMania week. Now I will say Manders was pretty great.
There's only one.
Absolutely. I was really impressed by obviously Maya World and Johnny Robbie from like the women indies perspective. Yeah, like I don't know. I think, you know, I'm actually very interested because, like, you know, West Coast Pro has actually been releasing a lot of stuff about new partnerships that they're forging within the indies and collectives,
which I think is a very smart thing to do, because I'm so glad I got to go to a Prestige show before they're closing their doors for who knows how long. And shout out to Will, because he was holding it down for a long time, and I know he's been going through a lot of rough shit personally, so hope he's doing all right.
You gotta think, like, in a 3-year span, like losing 1 PWG, 2 Prestige, Deadlock Pro,
and Deadlock, you
know, like it's rough. Like West Coast Pro like is really kind of like holding it down right now. And I don't know, like, you know, like I think it's just going to be really important to see like who steps up. And
show love to your local indies, man. I preach this from the fucking rooftops on a regular basis, but now is the time to show love to your local indies. Because you don't know who's going to show up at this point. Because there's less places for people to get booked now on the big shows.
You know what? And I actually wrote about this in a piece that I have coming out on December 1st. Shout out to Adriana and Allison, who, you know, this is a really good point. I have complained a lot, I think, in recent months, or even now, like having like a more of a platform to write, of like there's very few places for women, and I think to be able to publish their work, and like so many of us, me and Haley and Danny and so many people, we talk about this all the time behind closed doors, of like how can we create opportunities like for women to, you know, be able to talk about wrestling, and just to be able to, you know, write and create and hopefully get paid for their work and just do different things. And like what I really respect is like they just did it. Like they said, like, we're just going to create this quarterly magazine. We're going to write and, you know, whether people read it or not, like, you know, we're just going to start. And I think that that's really cool. So I'm the guest writer for the issue that's coming out, but I talked a little bit about how the future of the indies is currently and will be probably steered by women. Like, you know, like, what are the exciting things? Who are the exciting people in the indies right now? It's women. Who are the big stars who are coming and visiting and, you know, doing these big indie spots? You know, it's women. Like Mercedes obviously is at the very top of the list of just changing the game, you know, for independent wrestling right now, not just for women's wrestling. But then, like, I look over to the British scene. Like, I think Pro Wrestling Eve is a great example of look at what these AEW talent have done. Like, look at like having like, you know, access to the talent. And what I really like about Eve is that even though they have these big stars coming in, they're very much still putting over their own girls as legitimate threats, you know, like it's been really cool. I mean, and I think one of the biggest one of the biggest and coolest examples of, you know, WrestleMania weekend was TJPW doing no, not WrestleMania weekend. It was All in Texas weekend. TJPW putting over what 2,000, 3,000 butts and seats in Texas for Joshi women's wrestling. You know,
it's unreal.
Women are the future, and it's going to be really interesting. And I hope it's cool to see different talent and like organizations lean into it. I'm super excited for Wrestle Queendom. Like I think like that's going to be a huge turning point event for women's wrestling and independent wrestling as a whole. So many women are going to want to be on that card, you know. And I think we're going to see like some huge AEW names. I'm almost positive he's going to try to get Mercedes on it. She's probably going to do it.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Like if she's not, like she hasn't done an Eve show yet to the point where I'm like, they're probably saving it for a big one.
We've got O2 Indigo on International Women's Day, March 8th. Dan, come on, man.
CEO.
We need the CEO.
CEO.
I'm telling you, Mercedes is probably not going to do that many UK indies next year. I'm seeing it being that Eve show and the Rev Pro show in Wembley Arena. I think those are like the big two she's going to do.
Yeah, I mean, she might do some more. Well, she might do WrestleMania week. She might go during WrestleMania week. What was the
She did come over. She did a high stakes.
High stakes. So she might do high stakes. Because that was
during whatever the April show is, it's not always high stakes. It's was it high stakes or Epic Encounters? No, it was one of the big Rev Pro shows.
Yeah. So I think she'll do the Mania Week show. I think she'll do like, you know, the Wembley Arena show. And then
that's where she'll drop the belt.
She'll probably defend the Rev Pro title at Wrestle Queendom. And so yeah, I think, but it's very interesting trends are happening right now. And like even seeing people like, you know, Chris Statlander's doing indies now, you know, Megan Bain wrestled WrestleMania weekend and wrestled like, you know, regularly wrestles indies and regularly wrestles Stardom and regularly wrestles she's actually a monster.
She is. I think it goes under the radar how much she does, to be honest.
I agree. Willow is regularly wrestling, you know, independent shows. Who else?
Athena Hart and Sky Blue is starting to hit some of them up. Athena's making it. She made a surprise appearance at Rev Pro during All In weekend.
She did. I mean,
and I screamed when she came out.
She's promoting shows, you know, like she's like, and she's putting butts and seats. I expect, like, you know, the next Who Run the World event, because it's already been announced for January. I think it's going to be even bigger. Who else? Billy Starks, I mean, was running built.
She's like the indie queen of
like AEW.
Sure. Like Mercedes might have all the belts, but Billy's been running a joint for a while.
Truly. Billy, the American indies will never truly die as long as Billy Starks still has breath in her body. And that is the God honest truth. But yeah, it's been just really cool to see, and I'm just interested to see, like, you know, how this trends, you know, especially like, you know, Mercedes isn't going to be doing the belt collector gimmick forever, obviously, but you've seen like a lot of the other top stars in AEW have stepped up and like they're doing those appearances. Like even Tony, even if she doesn't wrestle, Tony makes appearances on the indies. Like I think she showed up at what was it, Prestige, or
she did Prestige?
Yeah. Who else? Queen Aminata, that Deadlock Pro Women's Champion, is out there. So
Dora does a lot with Deadlock and some of the other indies. Julia and Sky have done a couple of bits in the UK with Eve. And I know Sky has done some stuff in the States as well, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, Sky regularly works, I think, like the Chicago indies.
Yeah.
And then that's not even...
Penelope was at Mystery Wrestling in September in Toronto because that's when the bunny came back. Diona works a lot of indie dates. That is a name that was not going to make it into my brain. Thank you, chat. Jamie Hayter does stuff with Eve. Like, she's back at Eve in December.
Really?
Yeah, and I can't go to the show. It's the same day as my work Christmas party.
Oh, who's she wrestling?
I don't know that that's been announced yet. Let me take a quick look.
Yeah, I will say her last date, what was that? Alex Windsor?
That was the Windsor one. I was in Prague. I couldn't go to that one either.
I think that was Jamie's second best match this year, and one of her best matches since she came back was at Eve versus Alex Windsor. Aside from the Mercedes match, yeah, like it was that Windsor match is fantastic. Also, shout out to Alex Windsor. Like, you know,
truly, yeah,
like truly a beast, still working indies.
She still does a lot in the. She at Eve, she was just like, I'm not going to be working the indies like a lot. Like,
she had a 2-month
this is my last day, and girl, you have not left, and like we appreciate you so much, but the amount of work you're doing.
No, she's had like a 2-month independent retirement.
She's
just to show back up in both Rev Pro and Eve. Like, you're very unserious lady. She worked what 2 nights in a row? Did she work like 2 nights in a row during the Rev Pro anniversary weekend?
Sounds about right.
Yeah. But yeah, really cool times. I'm really excited to see, like,
oh my god, Emi Sakura's facing Rain.
Yeah, Emi Sakura.
I did not know that was happening. Bro, that match is gonna fucking bang. I love Reigns so much. Mm-hmm. Oh no, I'm sad that I can't. I mean, I was sad I couldn't go anyways, but now I'm. Oh, Benny's gonna be on. Bro, what? I missed so many announcements for this.
Yeah, show. I just went ahead and I subscribed to Eve months ago because they got me. I'm interested.
I can't find what Jamie's match is gonna be. Apparently, it's gonna be a tag match.
Yeah. Hey man, I'll be seated regardless.
Yeah. Okay. Did I save any?
Benny!
I did. She's so cool. She's wrestled in Eve before.
Oh my gosh, like Benny's so cool. And you know, you is about to retire.
Yes. That's really cool. Like, a lot of my friends that went to that show said that it was really special getting to see that.
Absolutely. I think right now, like in Sendai, they're like wrapping up, which is really sad. Her and like Hash. Also, if you haven't seen it, I know you haven't been watching a lot of wrestling lately. Hash versus Sorry, the last match that they just had. Holy fuck.
Yeah.
Holy fuck. Like, positioned like on some match of the year shit. Like holy fuck. Like,
I'll have to make time to watch that. Kale, the show is next Friday, 5th of December.
Yes.
Eve.
Somebody says, if Kamitani does the New Japan, New Jersey show, you kind of have to come up. Bad influence forever. Okay, so I've already been thinking about this, JJ. I do have a feeling, especially since they took the Strong branding off, I have a feeling that this show is going to be really big, like that New Japan show in the States. Like, even like the way that they're advertising and the way that like they're setting things up, I was already thinking about it. So I'm not going to.
When's there a New Japan show in the States? I've missed this.
I'm not going to commit. They announced the show. What is it, for early February? So that's going to be their next show in the States. But it's called, what is it called?
I won't have renewed my passport by then. I need to get on that.
Yeah, what is it called? It's called something Rise or some New Beginning shit. Oh,
I did see this. I just assumed it was
the New Beginning USA. That's what it's called. So
it's rebrand.
And it's directly 7 days after my birthday. So I could be convinced. I'm not gonna lie to you. Just depends.
I won't be there. I'll tell you now that I will not be there.
I just have never been to Trenton, New Jersey.
That sounds like a fake place.
You know, I'm trying to figure, like, what's Trenton close to? Like, is it close to, like, I'm looking around, I'm looking online. It's about an hour away from New York City. So that means, like, that's kind of like out the question. And it's about 44 minutes away from Philly. So we'll see. just depends, but it's yeah. I think it depends on how Wrestle Kingdom will decide if I go to that show. I'll tell you that. I'll leave it at
Amen. If there's any wrestling on in New York in October, we'll see what happens. Because you guys spending Halloween in New York next year, and I'm very fucking excited.
Well, you know, at the very minimum, you'll probably have at least like a House of Glory show.
Oh, hell yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mate, if Amazing Red's still wrestling.
Yeah, at the very minimum, there'll probably be like House of Glory. So, you know,
I'll take that. I'll take that because I don't want to, like, it's not a wrestling trip per se because I'm going out to see my friend Paula and spend Halloween with her. It's going to be fucking mint. But if there's wrestling going on, I'll go to the wrestling as well.
Yeah,
like.
there's always wrestling. You know, wrestling is a little bit of everywhere. Yeah, my trips for next year, I don't know. I want to do everything. You know what I really want to do?
Vegas is a maybe. I want to do Vegas.
You know what I really want to do next year? Oh, you know what? You're the perfect person to talk about this because I feel like I can convince you. What I really want to go do next year, especially if it's the same time frame as it was this year, I want to go to Mexico for that week. You know, that week of shows that they did Grand Slam Mexico. They did the CMLL versus AEW Ring of Honor, and they did the, what was it? Was it Fantastica Mania?
Yeah.
In 1 week in Mexico City. I want to, because that would be what was it? Second week of June or something like that?
Yeah.
I do want to check, like on my venue bucket list, wrestling venue bucket
Arena
list.
Mexico is on there.
I've actually almost completed it.
Really?
I've always wanted to do Tokyo Dome, Korakuen Hall, Ryogoku. I've done Wembley. I've done ECW Arena 2300, Hammerstein Ballroom. The only ones that I like absolutely feel like I need to do, I want to do Arena Mexico. I want to do the Nippon Budokan. Mm-hmm. And I want to do Osaka Joe Hall. Those are
wow.
Yeah. So those are like the last three that I feel like I have to do. But I've done most of the rest of them.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So we shall see.
I could be convinced if dates are released at a reasonable time that I can get the time booked off work.
And I think the backup plan would be the CMLL anniversary show. That would be like,
because that would be like a set thing. Yeah.
But I need to experience. Like,
I need to go to Arena Mexico so fucking bad. I think it would heal a part of me. Genuinely.
Everybody looks so happy and drunk every time.
Yeah. I just want to go drink margaritas.
It's the happiest place on earth, literally. Like, I was watching the Friday show and I said, bro, do you see these people on the Kiss Cam? Like, they are so active. Like, they are so passionate. Like, they get so active on that Arena.
We kiss on the Arena Mexico Kiss Cam.
I think we have to. I think it's really important. I think you gotta give.
I think that's something we need to achieve in life.
You gotta give the people what they want.
You've got to give the people that they want to do. Oh, I'm doing France next year as well. I'm going to France in January.
Wow. That sounds actually really cool.
For BZW.
Ooh,
how exciting! That should be really fun.
It won't be probably next year, but I've always wanted to do what is it called?
16 Carat.
Yes, thank you.
Oh, WXO, I didn't even need any more, like,
yes.
The fact we were talking about European wrestling, I was like, I know exactly.
Absolutely. And the thing is, I've been to Germany before.
West Coast Pro's coming to Germany.
Yes, I saw they're doing the Independent Wrestling Summit. Yes. Like, my first time ever going abroad was to Germany. That was my senior year of college, and I did a 2-week winter semester, 2-week winter abroad trip to Berlin, and I absolutely loved it. And it was right before COVID, so it was January 2020.
Yeah.
So that's the first place I've ever been, and I've been eager to go back to Germany. But yeah, I would love Like, and that was before I even really knew like WXW was a thing. And so like now, like that I know wrestling is there, like I already love the place now. Like you probably wouldn't be able to get me to leave.
Girl, I'm so tempted to do 16 carat next year. I don't know that I'm going to be able to make it work, but Naito's going to be there, and I just need to see what that looks like.
Speaking of Naito, lot of interesting stuff happening. So last week, so he did an interview with Tokyo Sports, and he said that he was now bankrupt. His freelance run has gotten him bankrupt, and that he said that he is returning to Japan effective immediately, and that the freelance run is essentially over. And last night, another report came out. Well, an announcement came out that he is doing a self-produced show. What is it, like 2 weeks? I'm not sure if it's a talk battle or if it's actually going to be a card on it. But you know what? He does have the type of motion. He could, like, you know, announce something and it's going to sell out in 2 weeks because, like, he's still such a major name and he's also taking a break away. But the way that I see it, I think he's going to end up, he will be landing somewhere that first week of January. Now, is it New Japan? Unsure. Is it Noah? Unsure. But I think he will be in either the Budokan or the Tokyo Dome first week of January. I'm pretty positive. So
do what hilarious ton of events.
What a time to be alive, man. Just
honestly, well and truly, what a time to be alive.
I told myself I'm going to start watching World Tag League. Apparently it's been pretty interesting, and at least some of the
I did not even know it has started.
Well, the lineup is pretty interesting. Like I think, like
yes, I remember we went through that.
Even if it's like I've heard like the lineup is pretty interesting. So I'm intrigued to like really dive in, and like with the holidays being this week and having some time, like I want to commit to catching up on it because you know, let me find out that tag team wrestling is important again in New Japan.
I would love for that to be the case because I still do love tag team wrestling. If I keep up with anything, it's tag team wrestling.
I think, well, you know, ever since like Yuto and Oscar came back, it's been a huge boost like for New Japan tag division. Like I will say the quality has increased on like these tag title matches tenfold. I did hear that Zack and Oiwa versus Shota and Yuya was incredible. I heard that.
That sounds.
But honestly, like if you look back to last year, if you were watching New Japan last year, Zack and Oiwa as a team just slapped. They had so many really stellar matches together, like even outside of World Tag League, and so that doesn't shock me. And like Shota and Yuya have really like perfected their chemistry. Like that's one of the best matches I would say. What was like one of the recent New Japan bigger shows, Knockout Brothers versus Shota and Yuya. That was one of the best, one of the best matches. And so, it doesn't shock me. Like Shuji Ishikawa and El Desperado are a team. That's why I also feel like I need to like tap in because, hello, Despy and Shuji, I love them. Really bad.
Despy, come to the UK, please, and thank you.
Despy, come everywhere. Like please, like. Pause.
I'm not disagreeing.
Many are saying this.
Many are asking nicely.
Many are saying this, but seriously, like, show up everywhere. We would really enjoy seeing you do one of those Despy shows that you like to do in the US.
Oh my god, please come do a Despy Invitational in the UK. I promise there's an audience for it. I will buy every single ticket if necessary.
Ooh, I think that would be really interesting during like All In weekend. Despy Invitational would be super sick.
Yeah, I love mystery shows, which is why I'm really excited that mystery wrestling is coming to Wales. Go to Cardiff. I'm so excited.
That's also I'm really sad that PWG is like kind of done because I've always
Yeah.
wanted to.
A Mystery Vortex.
Yes. Well,
I'm
you know,
really
actually,
sad I didn't go to the last one.
You know what? I'm lying. I've been to a Mystery Vortex show before. I went to New Year's Dash. Years ago. And that was, to be honest, I think that was the last super shocking New Year's Dash. That was the last, like, because what was the main event? Like, it was.
Oh, was that the one where Kenny showed up?
No, that was the year before when Kenny Okada teamed up. This was the one where Bryan Danielson, John Moxley, Ishii, and Okada teamed up.
Yeah.
You know, and I got to see that with my own two eyes, which was
crazy,
pretty sick.
Crazy. We have seen some wrestling in person.
We have seen some wrestling. Amen. Let's get into some more recent wrestling. Full Gear.
Indeed, we probably should. We're 50 minutes into this podcast and we've talked about nothing that has happened recently.
We talked about the important things.
Yes, we have reminisced.
AEW is going to AEW. Full Gear is happening. Had just happened. I think the major things coming out of the show is Hangman Page, unfortunately, is no longer the world champion.
There's a really funny bit I could do about him losing the belt and who he lost it to and the context of it all. Because isn't it crazy that like he had 2 short reigns and both times he was dethroned by 2000s Ring of Honor fame wrestlers?
He's, you know what? I feel like
I love Samoa Joe. This is nothing against Samoa Joe. It's just a really funny bit that I could do.
They said this was 2000s Ring of Honor's revenge for Hangman retiring Christopher Daniels. This is, and you know what? I would like to say, well played. This is my take because I feel like there's been like a lot of
there's been a lot of takes
about it. Yeah, like I think I don't want to say everybody's overreacting, but how do I say this? I didn't expect Hangman to win the belt. Let's start there. If you asked me, hand on the Bible, gun to my head, heading into Double or Nothing, who was going to win that Owen final? I would have told you
it was not Hangman Page.
I was going to told you Will Ospreay. When Hangman won the Owen, I said, "Oh my God!" I didn't expect it to be a long ride. I did it. I just was like, man, brother, we're so back. And you know what? I'm really glad that I soaked it in for what it was. All in Texas, we had an amazing time. It was beautiful. Everybody was hugging, crying, got to meet Hangman. It was awesome. Got some really great matches out of it. I loved, the Hangman versus Fletcher main event.
Getting to be good for that.
I even really liked Hangman versus MJF before the end. I enjoyed a lot, of the reign, like stuff like that. So like, I'm not tripping, and I think I do trip on the how. I will be honest that like it at times it did feel like he was de-emphasized on television, or and like, Mox was still kind of at the forefront with like the downfall of the Death Rider story, which, those are all very realistic and very real criticisms. And I think it wasn't always handled perfectly. But when you look at like the reactions that he was still getting, and he still gets, right? Like of just, I feel 10 times more confident now than I did after Double or Nothing 2022 when he lost that belt. Of like, I'm never going to feel like, I don't feel like, oh my gosh, like he's never going to win the belt again. He's not a top guy or stuff like no, of like the hell that we were in after Double or Nothing 2022. It was nasty.
It was rough.
It was disgusting. It was awful.
2023 was a rough year for the Hangman collective.
It was. And I think also too, you just have to think of, this is a marathon, not a sprint. He's going to hold the belt again. Now, I'm going to be honest, like I don't think that big grand babyface reign is ever happening. Like I just don't. Like I don't think he's ever going to have like this 300 and 450-day reign as a babyface champ. I think like if he ever has an extended reign, he'll probably be a heel. I think like AEW just isn't great at having these big babyface reigns regardless.
No. Have they ever done a good one?
No.
Like with a big title.
Like, you know, maybe Mox's first title reign, like, you know, maybe, yeah, like Mox's first reign is probably the closest that we've ever gotten. But like, that's all, like, it's getting to the point to where if you, it's two things. Number one, like, when you say that you think somebody should be the ace of the company, or like, you know, being the ace, like you have to remind yourself, what does that entail? Like a lot of it means like, you know, standing in the gaps for these shorter title reigns to, you know, keep the belt moving. Mox has 2 reigns under 30 days.
Mm-hmm.
Like Mox has 2 reigns under 30 days. The undisputed ace of AEW has 2 reigns under 30 days. Like just because shit happens or people get injured or different things. And what do? Somebody has to step up that you know you can depend on to stand in the gaps. And I think that if nothing else, I think Hangman has proven that he is that person. And then I think also too, he was put in a terrible position post All In of, you know, and I think he's even said it himself of, you know, you have all this help to win the belt, right? Like you have the Swerve and you have Osprey and you have all these big players and all the big stars are at the table. And then as soon as it's over, you find out that everybody was being held together by super glue and duct tape and clips. Everybody's out. You gotta think. When people, why did Hangman work this person? Why didn't work? He didn't work stars. We didn't have it. Who was left? You know, like as a babyface champion right now, like who literally was left? Swerve was injured. Osprey injured. Kenny is not in singles match, you know, headspace right now. What else? MJF went on hiatus, and then he had already worked him. He worked Kyle Fletcher. Takeshita and Okada are in the unified title picture, you know, like who was left? Like I think we can be honest about those things. Now, Hook being the one to issue the final blow, terrorism.
Yeah, I have feelings about that.
Terrorism. And we should say it. That is terrorism of the highest degree. Why couldn't it be Hobbs?
Why couldn't it be Hobbs?
This Hook experiment is gone too far. And I will say, and we get to no. Somebody said put some love on Hook. No. And I want to say this. Several of you last week went on these giant tirades after the women's tag title tournament qualifier match. You got mad when you got either mad or really happy that Ty J lost, right? And talked about how they've been in AEW so long and Anna J hasn't improved a bit and we shouldn't be putting titles or putting people in these big spots if they aren't in the position to handle them. And like, you know, and if you haven't shown any improvement, you shouldn't be pushed. So if you felt that comfortable saying all those things about women, which many of it was true, you should be saying those exact things about Hook. Hook has been given every single opportunity. He has worked with Hall of Famers, GOAT contenders, gods, titans, immortals among us. And he still has not made any substantial improvement when it comes to that ring. No, like I'm sorry. Like we talking about we in this ring. We got Swerve Strickland and Hangman Page over here. We got the Samoa Joe, Shibata over here, and Hook. One of these things is not like the other. And you're not going to gaslight me to think some people talking about some AEW fans. They find somebody to pick on, etc. Blah, blah, blah. What I think that people like. I'm not even saying he should be fired or he doesn't belong in wrestling. You know, I think there's a space for everybody. But we're batting above our weight class here.
Mm-hmm.
These are Ring of Honor problems on in the AEW main event scene. You need to be kicking it with Danhausen. I don't know what to tell you. Like, and to do that to Hangman of all people like that. Now that I'm like, okay, is that
my glorious, gracious cowboy? You know you can say no to creative sometimes, right? Like you can say no. You do not have to agree to everything that Tony Khan puts in front of you, brother.
This is why we need Osprey.
Hook is not the best wrestler under 30 in AEW. Can we be so fucking for real?
There's
Ace Austin. Kevin Knight is under 30.
Yes. Kyle Fletcher.
There are so many more. And that's free off the top of my head for someone that
MJF is under 30.
MJF. Brother.
No, we're not. You're not going to gaslight me. You're not going to gaslight me, and it's just not happening. They're not equals. They're not equals. Kyle Fletcher isn't even touching not Kyle Fletcher. Sorry, Hook isn't touching like.
I think I just got blind and so.
Hook isn't even touching like the young people like Nick Wayne, Billy Starks. Yep. Or these people who are 21 and under. It gets to a point. It gets to a point of just everybody, and that's it goes back to last week, the conversation that was had with Ty J versus Megan Bayne and Marina Shafir. Well, Ty J is a real tag team. Why would they lose to Megan and Marina Shafir?
Have you seen Megan and Marina Shafir?
And Marina Shafir was dog shit for a while, and we can all be completely honest about that. But you know what? She was thrust into a big spot where she had to, try and fail in front of a lot of people, and she had to make a decision of what am I going to do to stay here. And she worked her ass off. She's working the indies regularly, she's regularly training all the time. She is getting. She is putting herself out there, and she has noticeably improved and gotten better. Is she one of the top workers in the division? No, but she's working her ass off, and that's all I ask. Everybody's not going to be just a god tier athlete. Everybody can't wake up and be like Kenny Omega. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. But at the same time, it gets to a point. Hook is on reality television. And I know this because I watch reality television. He was on Next Gen NYC. He lives a great life. And I don't fault him for it. But we are not going to sit here and act like we in a room full of Hall of Famers and future Hall of Famers that he blends in. And
his tattoos are shit.
And I say this.
Sorry, but I had to get that off my chest.
What? You said
his tattoos are shit.
Yes. Have you ever seen Diary of a Wimpy Kid? Read it? That's what it is. And I think this isn't people be like Hangman fans cry all the time. So listen, I haven't complained about the title change once. I understand it. Of course, would I've loved Hangman to hold the title from now until 2028? Sure. But I'm not tripping. Also, it's Samoa Joe. And when you look that sick with blood all over you, then you know what? You can have whatever you want.
Hey, man. I saw those pictures. I haven't watched the match yet. It is on my to-do list. I am going to watch Full Gear at some point before the end of 2025. That's the goal anyways. Those pictures of Samoa Joe, oh my god, I have never been so moved in my life.
It's just and my thing is also to think about what we were doing in the weeks before this. All of the Eddie and Hook stuff was dog shit. we just
Ciao,
know.
Eddie Kingston. That's my goat. That I'm so glad I'm not watching Russell right now.
Yeah. You know, of just it gets to a point, like, you know, of we every all of these things are not equal. But I'm interested to see what happens. I know the rumors are because AEW posted on YouTube. They posted the World's End match between Joe and MJF from 2023. So we know what that means for the world title at World's End. And also wouldn't be shocked
I can't
if
say shit. I haven't been watching the product. I don't know. What's MJF up to these days? Probably filming a movie.
well, the thing is, I will say, I'm not even really so against Max coming back. I'm actually not. Actually, I'm looking forward to. He really left on a really high note. I think, like,
Yeah.
he had 2 back-to-back godly matches.
Yeah.
You know, like I that probably the best that he's looked in like a very long time. The Briscoe and the Mystico matches were fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
I think that there's a lot of potential in his return. I do think that can AEW afford to have a world champion who is doing promos 24/7 and and wrestling once every 3 months? No. But I also think that there, like I said, there's potential there. You just really have to wait and see. And also too, I think that he's not going to hold the belt that long anyway, because they're putting that belt on Darby. 1000%. Darby will be holding that belt sometime between January and August 2026. Do what you will. Yeah, then that's just a fact.
August 2026, bro. Will Ospreay.
Ospreay.
We're back in Wembley Stadium, boy. We are back in Wembley. If you're not winning that belt,
Will Ospreay, genuinely, Will Ospreay. The only thing that could stop Will Ospreay from winning that belt is probably his neck just falling clean off. Like, it would just have to fall clean off. You know, it would have.
I'm actually legitimately really excited for them to be back in Wembley, and not just because it's another show in the UK. I think the year off is gonna really make a difference in what the atmosphere is going to be like when they're back in the UK for a big show.
I also
don't get me wrong. Wembley Arena, the O2 Arena even was mint, and it was great because it was 20k, so like basically sold out, packed building, unreal vibes. It wasn't 20k. I'm lying. It was about 17. Still unreal. But Wembley Stadium and like the caliber of UK talents that they have that are in like positions to be like involved in that show at the moment,
without it feeling forced, because I think like especially that first Wembley show, we talked about this, it was just like a whole bunch of people that they'll be like, "Oh, are you from Britain? Come on, you can win the title tonight." That like, let's not do that. But like, there are some really big names who are really positioned to, you know, do some really great things, and I'm super.
I know what match I'm running for that world title, and people are gonna hate it. I
have 2 in mind. I think one is Ospreay Omega.
Yes.
Omega. The thing is, Will Ospreay himself has said that's what he wants. So, you know, I think we should let that nice man have what he wants.
I think we should let the nice British man and the nice Canadian man beat the shit out of each other in the main event of Wembley Stadium. I think that's quite reasonable.
Like I said, I try my best to, like, you know, really be cool about a lot of these things. I've been super lax. Like I said, I've had a plan of making sure that all of my clients main event a stadium show, you know, and it was really important, I think, that AEW made sure that all of their homegrown guys to this point have main events, like their homegrown champions, like the guys who became first-time world champions in, like, you know, in AEW, like they have each now main event to the stadium show, you know, MJF, Swerve, Hangman. And so, but also their big time veterans have main evented the show. So, you know, Bryan Danielson and Jon Moxley, which was completely deserved, right? Kenny Omega not main eventing a stadium show for All Elite Wrestling before he calls it quits will be my villain origin story.
Yep.
And I'm letting y'all know that right now today. And
even if he does a main event All In, if he does not main event a stadium show next year, because let's be fucking real.
Well, you heard the rumor about Revolution 2027.
No.
The rumor is Revolution 2027 will be a stadium show. They're doing they'll run a baseball stadium. So Revolution.
Hey man, I'll fly for it. Mm-hmm. I am A-okay on them holding off on Ospreay Omega if they want, because realistically, how do we get the belt on Omega? Because of Ospreay's got to win it at All In, right?
Yeah.
So how do we get that? That is not for me to figure out. I am not on the creative.
So the thing is, this is how I see it. So we went Mox, Hangman, Joe, MJF, Darby, Dart. Who would take the belt off Dart? Probably Swerve.
That's a lot of title changes to get in 10 months.
We've already started.
We have. This is true. We are currently at Joe.
We're already halfway through. We're already halfway through, especially if MJF wins at World's End, we'd already be almost there. And then we
just need to do Darby Swerve.
Darby's not going to not going to hold that belt for a long time. I don't think. I just don't think it's possible. Swerve take. This is the rumor. I have heard that that an idea that floated around. Not sure if it's going to amount to anything, of the main event of Wembley being a 4-way or a 3-way or 4-way between all of the homegrown guys, like those Hangman, Swerve, Ospreay, and potentially Max. But listen, I have my better idea. I think Ospreay Omega is a better idea.
Oh, 100%. It's not what we're going to get, but I can take the L on it. It's fine.
I can live with it.
Yeah. But yeah, Omega needs to main event a stadium show. I just don't think doing a 4-way in Wembley Stadium would work, personally.
I mean, especially you got
not for the main event.
Those are three really at least three, 4. I mean, really popular people. You're gonna split the crowd. I mean, I think it would work. It just would be a little convoluted.
It'd be a little clunky, especially. There was a really good point in chat. How do you make it work with your own half?
Well, you know what? I would say I don't know, but the AEW makes up new rules all the time for shit.
This is true.
That's how Mox got the title shot from Darby in the first place. So
this is you are so true. You are so correct.
Draw in the finals. Now that would make sense.
Woke nonsense.
It
makes sense, but it's woke nonsense.
Especially if it's like Ospreay and Swerve or Ospreay and Hangman in the finals. Of course, yeah, that's I could easily see them playing that card. Not saying that I like it, but this is very on brand.
I want to bring up a point on something quickly, because I've been thinking about it. I was talking about talent's main event in stadium shows. It's something that's kind of hit my brain a little bit because of all the recent reports that have come out. I have been very vocal on my opinions of the main event of the first Wembley show. If Adam Cole never wrestles again, I will never talk shit on that main event again. Because if he can never wrestle again, I am so glad he got that moment.
I agree. And that was the thing. Being at All In Texas, hearing him give that speech, I said, you know what? Mm-hmm. I am just really grateful that I got to be there for that. Of just
it sincerely puts things into perspective.
In the moment, we did have fun. Now afterwards, there was what the fuck did we just watch after? But it was delirium, and I think it was just the environment, of being in a packed out Wembley Stadium. We had fireworks and streamers, and everybody was just so happy. It just felt like we were all being a part of history. And like, I hope that he knows that, like, he will always, you know, be a part of history. Like,
it's brutal. It's genuinely brutal reading all the reports that have come out recently.
They said
Tony Khan outright saying that they don't think that he can wrestle again. Horrifying to read.
My heart breaks for him.
He's the nicest person ever, it seems like. Like, no one's ever had a bad word to say about Adam Cole. And I know I have opinions on his wrestling. I don't think he was the best wrestler in the world. But you still don't want to see someone go out like that. He didn't even get to defend the belt.
I think also, too, like, Adam Cole had, like, a career that most guys his size would never be able to accomplish. Yeah. Like, you know, like, he was really a unicorn in, like, so many different ways. And, like, he just, you know, I don't think, like, he was, like, the most naturally athletic. I don't think, like, he was, like, the naturally most gifted bell for bell wrestler. But he truly, like, had so much charisma, you know, that really, like, could fill up a whole room. He was an electric talker. And like, he's had some really great matches. Like, you know, like, he has had some really great matches. And he's not even like
such an important part of Ring of Honor as well.
Truly, like, and it's crazy because, like, when they did the Jay Briscoe memorial special on Ring of Honor after Jay Briscoe died, and they were showing some of Jay Briscoe's classic matches. I watched this one between him and Adam Cole. I said, holy fuck, it's fantastic. Like, it was so absolutely, like, fantastic of, you know, Adam Cole was able to flip a switch, like, really, really well. He had a great career, you know, in NXT. And I think, like, you know, shout out to him because, like, without him coming to AEW when he did, we don't get Kyle O'Reilly and Roderick Strong, you know, in AEW. And look at those guys right now. Like, just
exactly.
Kyle is another one of that entire group. They all battled, you know, so much.
Yes.
You know, it just really sucks because, like, you know, there's a lot of assholes in professional wrestling. But he's not one of them, you know, like Adam Cole is not one of them. Yeah, it sucks. But so we'll always have Wembley, 81,065.
I didn't mean for that to take, like, a sad note, but I think it's important to reflect on things sometimes because we all get wrapped up in that. Why did they do this? And why did they do that? And sometimes it's just like, damn, if they didn't do that, then he never would have had that moment. And he's never going to get the chance to have another moment like that, it feels like. So, you
know, there's several things in wrestling of just, like, you know, if certain things don't happen at this exact time, we don't get some of the most beautiful moments. Like, for example, David Finlay getting injured right before during the New Japan Cup last year.
Yes.
Was a direct catalyst for Hiroki Goto going on to win, like, his first world title of, like, something like that. Or, for example, if Darby didn't climb Everest, there is no Hangman title reign.
There is no Hangman title reign if Darby never climbed Everest. That's so fucking true.
Like, there is no Hangman title reign. Like, there's so many little, you know, little what ifs throughout wrestling that create beautiful moments. And we got to cherish them. Yeah.
You gotta cherish him. Shout out Adam Cole. I hope he's just well. I just truly hope he is well.
Hope he has every single video game that he wants. And also, too, I will say, it's about time for AEW to do a new video game. Send him in the lab, like, to truly, like,
genuinely.
Go look at what Kenny.
I literally have his.
He post notifications on me too.
For fuck's sake.
What is this? Oh my god! No, this is nasty. This is nasty. Y'all not gonna do this to my girl. This is so nasty. It's always funny because Kenny shows up on Twitter like all the wildest times. Like he just shows up at the wildest times and says like the craziest, funniest little stuff. I love him. He has his whimsy. Did you see BTE this week?
I haven't watched any BT since it came back. I feel so wrong admitting that. Listen, a girl be busy.
You know, well, the good news is, aside from this week, there are no full-length episodes. Like everything is like between like 3 and 8 minutes, if that.
Oh, I could binge.
So they haven't done it except
Don't want me. I have a 9 to 5. And that 9 to 5 has taken over my life.
Yeah, so except for this week, like every episode that they've released so far is like super duper. It's not even full episodes. Like it's just like little moments. And so, but this one, they did a full 22-minute rerun. And at the end, like JJ said, you just have to watch the last 2 minutes. Like, it's them reunited with Kenny, and Kenny gets his whimsy back, and it's like really cool.
Listen, people have opinions. When the Elite are together, that is when AEW feels the most AEW to me. There is a high chance that I tap in.
Absolutely. And that's also another thing about Full Gear that I feel like a lot of people have feelings about. And like I admit nothing, but theoretically, this could be the last real full Elite reunion. You know, like they have more years behind them than they have in front of them. And I think everybody looks great.
You got to remember, right? They signed their new deals in what, 2022? 2023?
Right. 2023.
So how long, like, depending how long those deals were, we might be in contract year for some of them.
And honestly, too,
if they were already 3 years deals.
And that's why when Tony is talking about Revolution 2027 being a stadium show.
Oh, no. Revolution is the most important pay-per-view for all 4 members of the Elite. Oh, fuck.
Sister!
The way tears just welled up in my eye. No, thank you.
No, I've never said it out loud. I started tearing up too. They gonna have to take me out back and put me down like a dog. We won't.
You guys understand? No, because the thing is, right, this day was always going to come. Do you understand what an integral part of my life the Young Bucks and, like, the Young Bucks especially have been? I became a fan of these men when I was 9 years old, 8 years old. I was 8 because it was the August 2009. Do you understand? That is like, at this point, that's like, how old am I? 25. That's 18 years of my life.
And yeah, I got involved, like interested in all of them like later in life. But like when I say like it changed my life, like the first time, I've been a wrestling fan since I was 8 years old. Never actually left my hometown to see wrestling or anything like that. The Elite, like especially when they got suspended, that was the first time that I decided to leave my house, like to go travel for any show, to be there at Full Gear 22 when they returned to New Jersey. And I got the book and I never stopped. Like literally, like, you know, me getting into content and a whole bunch of other stuff. Like, you know, like that never happens without me becoming so like honest to God, obsessed. Obsessed, you know, like my coming of age stories of just like the
Young Bucks were the first people I wrote anything about.
You know, I remember when I started buying wrestling merch again and like getting back into wrestling. I remember I have the first pair of the Young Bucks shoes, like, you know, the shoes and stuff. Like Kenny changed my life. Like, bro, when I say if that really is it, we will be there.
I will I will go back to North Carolina if I have to, and I've vowed that I was never returning to that state.
We will be there.
Realistically, where do you think they would run it? Because it's got to be LA, right? Not LA. I think it's got to be California at the minimum.
I think that was the rumor. Well, which one was? I'm trying to look it up because there was a.
I think it just makes so much, because like so much of like the Bucks crews, especially, but like even Kenny, like they're so attached to PWG.
Correct.
And I know Hangman wasn't as much, but it won't be Hangman's retirement. So
you said Hangman's retirement?
Nah, it won't be Hangman. That's what I'm saying. Like so. Arizona has a retractable roof baseball stadium, which is what I believe they need and want. I'll give fuck. That is not LA. Sorry.
It's true. No, that's real. Yeah, I think. Well, I've heard that he said that running the Rogers Center in Canada is always a possibility. Oh fuck! Rogers Center in Canada.
Oh. Guys, this pay-per-view is over a year away. We are 18 months away from this even being a thing. And I'm already crashing out.
And the thing about Kenny too is just like, unfortunately, Kenny, you do have to. Kenny's gonna have to have 2 retirements. He's gonna have to have a.
He's gonna have to retire in Japan as well.
He's gonna have to have, a North American retirement, and I do need to be at both of them. If he's at Wrestle Kingdom 21,
we don't even know where 26 is.
Good Lord.
I'm gonna crash the fuck out.
Oh my gosh, we're spiraling. You see, bro, just know Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks, you are loved by nobody more than us. Near, far, wherever you are, we will be there.
I need to look what my heart rate is right now, because it's crazy.
It's crazy. I'm glad I don't have my Apple Watch on. Let's talk about something more exciting to close this out.
Can we talk about the C2 for about 10 minutes?
I was about to say that to close out. Let's talk about the Continental Classic. What a lineup, folks.
It's a really cool lineup.
I was going to ask really quickly, what do you think about Hangman Swerve being back in the same, or like what are they going to do? Like, my thing is also too, if this ends up being a 4-way match,
my opinion right now is that I love Paris, and that is all I will say. I'll text you.
Okay. Cool. Next,
I can't spell the fucking word. Hang on.
The Continental Classic lineup. What is it? Let me fuck. I gotta find it. Okay, Continental Classic. So, over in the Gold League, we have Kazuchika Okada, Kyle Fletcher, Pac, Kevin Knight, Speedball Mike Bailey, and Darby Allin. And then in the Blue League, we have Nosuke Takeshita, John Moxley, Orange Cassidy, Claudio Castagnoli, Roderick Strong, and Mascara Dorada.
What a cool lineup. Sincerely and truly.
Absolutely. And tonight, we're King. Huh?
Do you still not get it?
No. We'll talk.
Yeah, I'm gonna send you a.
Okay.
You will. There is no way you don't understand after this.
Oh my god, I'm so.
I just love Paris. Hang on, sorry, chat. There you go.
That wasn't what I meant, but yeah.
No, I know, but
That's not what I meant, but I agree. Many are saying this. Many are saying this. We'll see it play out.
I've lost the plot, first of all, but I've actually lost my vote.
My sister lost the plot.
But yes,
that's the C2 lineup. We're kicking off with Kyle Fletcher versus Okada tonight, Darby Allin versus Knight, and John Moxley versus Mascara Dorada.
That match I'm interested in. Would it be so crazy to say that I think Mr. Kyle Fletcher should pick up the dub?
I agree. Right. I think the on the nose stuff right now has been, it seems very, oh yeah, Kyle's going to turn on Takeshita and kick Takeshita out of the family, etc. Going to join forces with Okada. But I'd like to see them throw a wrench in that, or at least cause some doubt. Cause a little bit of doubt. And I think Kyle would, be that. Now, the only thing that
2 minutes, I will be back. Lyric, I'm so sorry.
Oh, good. The only thing that makes me believe that Kyle might lose this is because he beat Okada last year in the C2. So maybe they'll do a draw, like you said, or maybe they'll do, Okada beats Kyle. But, I said this on Twitter a little bit, but I think that there's a very interesting story to tell if they end up actually, if this builds to not just Takeshita but also Kyle leaving the Don Callis family. And I think if they could get that Andrade contract figured out sooner rather than later, I think that'll really help, because I think that he's done really great work as a heel. I think he's been a really powerful heel, but I think that Kyle Fletcher has a ton of potential as a babyface. Something about it.
I agree.
I think that Kyle Fletcher has a ton of potential as a babyface, and I think that him and Takeshita, I don't even think, obviously they don't need to be a full-time tag team or anything, but I think that
Kyle that Fletcher beat Okada last year. I'm not gonna lie to you.
But I think that there's a really interesting story to be told. You got to think Kyle was manipulated by Don to turn on Will, and if I wonder if he will notice what Don is doing to Takeshita to make him realize what happened to him. And this could go either way, which I think is really cool. And also, Okada is one of the most compelling characters on television right now. This Okada Takeshita feud, I think, is probably the hottest feud in the company, and they've been edging everybody. And it's
been going on for a long time. This has been going on since I stopped watching actively, and
it's still interesting. Which is really crazy to think about. It's really interesting, and I know some people are like, "Oh, does Takeshita win the C2? I can't see him losing." But also, part of me can't see Okada losing. People before Wrestle Kingdom. Guess what? Wrestle Kingdom's now really tricky, because even though Takeshita is the champion, Okada's likely the headliner.
Mm-hmm.
It's really tricky right now, when it comes down to the Wrestle. So I'm not even sure if Wrestle Kingdom will even factor into who wins, from a World's End perspective. And then you have the John Moxley story coming on. He's gonna die. I'll tell you that. Did you see the clip on Twitter of Mox talking after losing to Kyle?
Yes.
They're gonna kill him.
Yeah, it's kind of drove from, but I do think that he's been a heel for so long now that he needs some babyface John Moxley back in our lives.
I agree. No, absolutely. Unfortunately, somewhere along the way, Mox was the biggest terrorist of the year, derogatory, in the first half of this year, and now he's just so endearing. He's funny. when he's on commentary, the things that he says, the thing he does, he's so funny. He can't help it. Unfortunately, he's baby girl. We love him, and he will be accepted with open arms as a baby face after he has to face the consequences of his actions that he 100% created for himself.
Listen. Oh, he 100% did. Listen, there was a missed opportunity back in the day of him and a certain Mad King holding some certain belts. So, like,
you know what?
I'm saying, fuck the revival.
What I will say though is, I think for 2026, and if it goes anything like this past year, I think there's a lot of potential in makeshift teams of, like, you know, putting two singles guys in a teams, and especially if I don't know if they're like pulling the trigger on like the Hangman Swerve tag run, but you have them, you have Eddie and Mox, you know, because especially if you put Broditos back in like single stuff, like, you know, I think like there's some potential. Like, I think we can really get this tag division cracking. And it's been a fantastic year for AEW's tag division, especially the second half. Especially the second half of the year has already been extremely fantastic. All of the new additions really just, you know, stepped up. But like, if we can get like some real star power, I think we're talking some really cool stuff. So yeah, no, Eddie and Mox, it's about that time. Eddie is looking better in the ring. Like, he's not as those first couple weeks they were scary. But I just think like he just largely looked disinterested in what he was doing working with Hook. So maybe now that he's not, you know, we'll see more of that fire. Yeah, who else is in this tournament? Jet Speed, shout out to Jet Speed. If you had Kevin Knight stocks all year, if you bought them early, stay in line. We're going to the top. We're going to the top. I tweeted this, but the most points Kevin Knight ever got in a Best of the Super Juniors was 8. So I need at least 9 in the Continental Classic. Darby's the real wild card here because he could go really far. He wouldn't be my pick, but like he's easily would be AEW's pick.
Yes. There's some interesting. The one name that kind of threw me off being in this tournament was Orange Cassidy.
I agree, and it's not in a bad way because
not in a bad way.
I feel like I will say so many people. I texted some of my friends this. I said I've seen at least a dozen tweets today of saying like, "Oh, the C2 lineup is perfect except for one person, but everybody is talking about somebody different." And so Darby FC and Orange FC are having a shootout on the timeline right now. I think I'm not against Orange Cassidy being in this tournament at all, but I think that especially like where he is currently now in the conglomeration, everybody else has been, you know, making like these clear progressions and like making like these clear headways for themselves. And that's why I was excited for Orange to come back from injury, but I was hoping that he would be something different than what we've seen before. And so far he hasn't. So I'm hoping this tournament does it for him, because I will say, like, I'm not interested in seeing just the standard Orange Cassidy shtick 24/7. Like, I'm just not. Like, you know, Mark Briscoe is doing really cool stuff right now. Kyle O'Reilly is doing really cool stuff right now. Roderick Strong is doing really cool stuff right now. You know, like, I think that, you know, Orange Cassidy, especially with who he is and what he's meant to AEW, we need more. Like, you know, we just need more. I'm hoping that this tournament will be that. But, you know, there's definitely guys that I probably would have thought of first. But I'm not mad he's in it. Now, Pac being in the tournament, God bless. God bless. Pac had a really great showing at Full Gear, too. It was great. I love seeing Pac singles Graps. Love seeing Pac healthy. Also in turn, Speedball, my beloved.
Yes. I'm gonna miss Brody being in it this year, to be honest.
I know, right? Like, I will say, there's no
Hoss.
Yeah, Claudio's like the closest thing, but yeah, there's no like.
Is he's in the same bracket as Mascara Dorada, right?
Yes, yeah. No, yeah, I tweeted today, I said Claudio Dorada is gonna be a sleeper of the tournament. Like that's gonna be like,
the basin in that match.
oh absolutely.
Have you like whenever Claudio went over to wrestle in Arena Mexico, oh my god, like he was just unreal every single time. I'm so fucking excited for that.
Well, he's wrestling in Arena Mexico this weekend.
Is it? I did not know.
He is. Yes, he's wrestling. And so are Yuta and DG. And Jet Speed wrestled in Arena Mexico this past week, and they've been to CMLL. They did Arena Coliseo, and did they do Puebla too? Maybe. But yeah, so they've been doing. Listen, you have to see that match they had on Friday versus who was it against? It was it Sky Team? Yeah, it was Sky Team. It was Dorada and Neon.
Holy shit. Okay, yeah. I gotta tap in for that.
And then on Sunday they wrestled Angel Deloro and Soberano Jr. And so I still have to watch that one. Soberano Jr. I'm kind of obsessed with you. It's embarrassing. But yeah, that's the tournament. I mean, this is Takesha's tournament to lose. Yes. We'll say for somebody who I think I wasn't always sold on how Takeshita was presented in AEW for a very long time. I think this year they've knocked it out of the park, and they've been able to really highlight the global phenomenon that he really is, you know? And truly, he's untouchable after this run. It's really nothing else to say.
I'm telling you, right. I think 2026 is going to be an interesting year for the world title scene in general. 2027, Takeshita, that belt is yours, brother.
I think also too of the interesting.
I think end of 2026 into 2027 is going to be a year of international champions for the AEW world title. So I think you're going to see Bandito get up there. I think you're going to see Takeshita get up there. Ospreay's going to hold it.
Fletcher.
It's going to be Carl Fletcher. Like it's going to be a tippy top year for the international talents.
Well, you know what? And I also have another prediction of if things progress the way that they are currently progressing, especially if we have to wait until like August for Ospreay to like get the world title, there's a really good chance that like that unified title is going to may feel like the biggest title in the company, because like I think after this Okada Takeshita program, that belt is going to be thrust into a different stratosphere. And like I even said, like I think you should get Hangman and Bandito in that unified title scene in early 2026. You know, I think one of the greatest things that Swerve did before he left for injury was challenge for that unified title at Forbidden Door. You know, like establish the precedent of like, this is top stars wrestle for this, you know, like top stars go after this title. And I think also too, they made it look like a title that top stars, like the belt is beautiful. It's absolutely great. Like seeing it up close and like the all-in scrum, like I was in the front row and like it was in my face. That is a honest to God gorgeous belt.
Yeah.
And like if AEW actually ends up doing that Australian stadium show in 2027, like finally does it, like Kyle Fletcher winning the world title.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the C2. Also tonight, the women's tag team championship tournament continues.
I feel like that's been going on for like 7 years now.
Yeah, so they've dragged it out across what has it been 2-3 pay-per-view cycles, whatever. But yeah, we're down to the semifinals now. Tonight, Babes of Wrath versus Sisters of Sin. Never thought I'd say this. We need Willow Nightingale to lose. She has to lose because I'm almost positive she's going to take the belt off Mercedes at World's End. So Let's clean this up.
Mm-hmm.
We've started the downfall arc. I think several people are going to come to their end at World's End.
Indeed.
John Moxley, Takeshita, and Okada. And I say this because I think Takeshita is going to win, but Okada, they will be jumping him immediately afterwards.
Yes.
The Dark House family will be jumping him immediately afterwards. Who else is coming to will get their downfall? I don't know. Those are the biggest ones, though. So,
yeah.
They're cleaning those storylines up. But yeah, Mercedes, it's over, sister. That downfall arc.
It's been a good run.
It's been a great run, but we got to go. I need her to drop the CMLL title to Persephone, the Rev Pro title to Kanji, TBS title to Willow. Yeah, about it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm a fan of that. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
We talked about a lot of
We did. We touched on a lot of topics.
Yeah, when we said, "Oh yeah, we're barely going to do an hour today," you know, and
I was like, "We'll make sure we hit an hour. We're almost at 2."
I was in a really terrible mood before we started the show, but actually, this really did turn my day around. So thank you.
I'm glad we did this.
This is really great. Yay! If any of you have any super chats to give us before we head out, you can do that now. But if not, you have anything that you'd like to plug?
No, because I don't do anything. I won't be here next week. I can tell you guys all of that because I have a work event. I'm going to be drinking with my colleagues. What's new? That's what I'm always doing at the moment. I will be back the week after. Will I be back? Yeah, I'll be back the week after. I don't think I should miss any more before the end of the year because of work has evened out a little bit. Wednesdays are quite chill now, so fingers crossed. Have you got anything to plug?
No. Keep an eye out on December 1st for the ANA Quarterly coming out. Dynamite Diaries tonight. Me and Danny will be doing the Dynamite After Show over on my YouTube channel at Lyric Swinton. But yeah, I don't know. Happy Thanksgiving, folks. Everybody stay safe.
Happy Thanksgiving.
If you have a happy C2. It's going to be a great kickoff night. I'm excited. So, yeah.
Be good.
Alrighty.
Thank you all for tuning in. Please like the video because we always forget to do that and then we get told off.
Like and subscribe. We'll see you next time, folks. Bye.
Take care. Bye.